Wait a minute, info. Wait a minute. It's the info man and the lion den. 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 It's the info man, yup. It's the lion den, yup. You can't fuck with us, nope. So stop trying this. It's the info man, yup. It's the lion den, yup. You can't fuck with us, nope. So stop trying this. Heavyweight, so they try to infiltrate with hate. Knock my meal up off my plate, but we do not take the bait. Don't hesitate. When it's time to do it, we still do they bullshit like our steering fluid. Wait a minute, Lions Den. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Lions Den. Wait a minute. It's the info man and the Lions Den. 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 Raise your ass and block those numbers. This ain't no dream. You can't fuck with Lion or info team. Raise your ass and block those numbers. This ain't no dream. You can't fuck with Lion or info team. Raise your ass and block those numbers. This ain't no dream. You can't fuck with Lion or info team. Raise your ass and block those numbers. This ain't no dream. You can't fuck with Lion or info team. It's the info man and the lion den. It's the info man and the lion den. It's the info man and the lion den. It's the info man and the lion den.
Yes, we're back. Me and my man If. Yes, me and my man Lions Den are back in the house tonight. I'm glad that he's with me. Welcome everybody to the program. Welcome to the program, everybody. I've got some bad news, but some good news too. Tonight, we were supposed to have my man, you know, the one and only B Miles 84 of the Conscious Channel. And he's famously known for the famous thing that he says. You know what he always says, hold your own nuts. Unfortunately, everybody, I worked hard. I put out a video production to let everybody know that he was coming on tonight. I've been talking to him. The young lady that was supposed to be our guest to talk about this issue, something went wrong. He was making contact with her, and it just, something was not working out. Me and him were talking, and he told me that he wanted me to reschedule it. So I had to go on. I couldn't leave people hanging. I told the brother, I'm going to send him a link and see if I can get him. I wanted him to come on tonight and speak to everybody. I'm going to send him a damn link. And I've been talking to him on the phone most of the day. So everything that was planned did not go as I was hoping. I want to apologize to everybody. But what I'm going to do now is that I've sent out a few links for people to join the panel so that we can just have some good old-fashioned conversation. We'll probably feel some thoughts that people have from the chat room, read those thoughts, talk about those thoughts. I got my man Lions Den back on with me. And Lions Den, as always, brother, let's give a little love to everybody in the chat room. Let's see who's out there. Let me give a clap, first of all. And remember this, there's nothing to fear, family. Nothing to be afraid of. You're with a good old info and Lions Den. We're going to get into the discussion. Lions Den, brother, who's out there in the chat room so far? And I really appreciate everybody who stuck with us that was waiting. Go ahead, Lions Den. Do the honors, brother.
What's good, everybody in the chat room? Brother Danubian, Kendrick Shelton, Hood Mistress Reloaded. We got my boy Zachary Launting, Black in Japan, Big L, Taria, Neon Eyes. We have Makem in the building, and Lowcast. We also have, oh wow, basically that's it info for right now.
Okay. I'm gonna send Miles a message here. I'm sending you a link, brother. All right. So I'm gonna send him that link. Let me disengage the avatar that we got on the screen there that everybody's looking at right now. So what do I have here? Let me disengage everything and let me stop that. Boom, 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 everybody. Here I am, as you can see me. Let me go ahead. I'm going to cover that up for a minute because I'm going to send him a link. I should have just had him come on with the link from the get-go. There we go. I'm going to send him the link. I want him to still come on. So, Lions Den, you've moved. Hey, what's going on, Lowcast? I see you out there, everybody. Black in Japan, I sent you a link, brother, to come on board. So come on board. I just want to, I'm going to probably send Lowcast a link too. I want to know, so you're in Tennessee right now. So you've moved from Washington, D.C. What's going on, Sister Eyes? Nearly Eyes, how you doing, sister? Now, you moved to Tennessee right now, brother, right? Is that right?
Yes, sir. I'm here in Tennessee. Tennessee is where it's at, brother. I ain't gonna lie. It's very beautiful here. I'm living here with Antioch, Tennessee, which is suburban part of Nashville. Man, it's everything is off the hook here, brother.
Off the hook there, huh?
Yes, sir.
And you got married not too long ago, right, brother?
Yeah, I got married in August, and I'm happily married. My marriage life is off the hook, brother. I ain't gonna lie. There's off the hook right now.
Okay.
Matter of fact, my beautiful wife is in the chat room right now.
Okay. I'm
Yes,
glad.
sir.
I'm glad that she's here. So, brother, you took a big step into married life, man. That's a big commitment to take. We got Big L in the house right now. Once again, I want to apologize to everybody that I was trying to get my man B Miles. We were going to do a program tonight about talking about the issues around the Black and Brown Coalition. He had a sister that was going to come on. She has both heritage, and we were going to address that issue. And it just didn't turn out. It just didn't It didn't turn out tonight, unfortunately. But I'm glad to see people in the chat room. I'm going to say it straight up. As Brother Miles always says, famously, hold your own nuts. I just think that, and that was something that Tariq was saying too. I just think, once again, Black people, we have issues that pertain to us that we have to deal with. And we don't really have the room or the energy to take on issues as it relates to immigrants, because we got so many other issues that we need to deal with.
Yeah.
That other groups tend to focus on what is best in the groups for the group. Other groups tend to focus on what is best for them. We as Black people in American society, we need to focus on what is best for us. And that's just a reality. Okay. So I just want to leave it right there, brother. That's where we are. I've sent out a couple of links. I'm hoping I get a few people that will come on board and chop it up with us. I think I'll even send Mr. Research a link too. So he can, because he always gives good wisdom. So let me see if I can get him on and pop it up with him. Oh, and I'm gonna get my man from World Breaker. He's got a sports channel. That brother's pretty dynamic. See if I can get him on here. Boom. So I've got to send him a link. We'll see if we can get a few people. But what's going on, man? You still doing your thing on YouTube? What's going on in the latest news that's grabbed your attention, Lions Den?
Well, I'm still before I'm finished with you. I was already working on this story of what's going on in New York when police officers is trying to take away a young sister's baby away from them while she was arrested, and she was on Rikers Island. But later on they bail her out. She's free from everything because of that incident. And I think it went viral for like a few days. So I was working on that story. As soon as I finished doing the show with you tonight, I'm going to definitely work on that story and let them know what happened at the end. But it was really a chaotic situation. The police officer shouldn't even did that, taking that baby away from her like that. At the end of the day, that's still someone's child. But everybody will put pressure with the mayor of New York and everybody else to bail this woman out, and they finally did that.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot of and I got rid of my cable television, so it's a lot of things I'm not knowing about. But looks like Mr. Good Old Make America Great Again has got a little bit of there's some dirt coming out on him, huh?
Oh yeah. There's been reports that it was since the Democrats has taken over the House now, there was reports that they might start impeachment proceedings against Mr. Trump. So it's just not going to be good unless the Republicans control the Senate. They're probably negotiating whether or not if they're willing to even let Mr. Trump be impeached. But it's like a wait and see type thing. But just because Democrats say they're going to impeach the man doesn't necessarily mean it's going to really happen. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. I'm gonna bring my man Prophet of Thought. Have you heard of Prophet of Thought series, Lions Den?
No, I never heard of him.
He's a good brother. He has a show, and I've been coming on his his Thursday night shows. He's
Oh,
a pretty
okay.
deep brother. I'm gonna send him a link because he's a pretty good brother too, and very knowledgeable brother. Has a great show, and he's a good brother. Everybody in the chat room, let me make this announcement. You have Miss Makem in there. Miss Makem, I implore all of you to subscribe to her channel. She's in the chat room because she does really great material. You will definitely learn a lot from her. She definitely digs up stories. So definitely check Miss Makem out and subscribe to her channel. You can hit her avatar in the chat room, and you can support her, and definitely support my man Lions Den as well, because he has a channel and he does great things on his channel. So definitely do that. So, but there's a lot of things going on, politically. And come January 1st, when they bring in this new class of Democrats that are coming in, guess what they're able to do too, Lions Den? They're looking at saying we want to see those tax records.
Oh
The
yeah.
tax records will show you everything you need to know.
Yep. And they've been working on that for a while now, Info. And once like you said, the Democratic class sworn in Congress, they're really trying to go after Trump's income tax return. They were supposed to they was really trying to get those taxes for years. But as you know, that Republicans are trying to block that from happening. But since now the Democrats is planning to gain control of the House, that looks to me is going to happen for sure.
Interesting. Let me see if I can get my man Nagone on here. I think it's rough. It's a Tuesday night. People probably tired, kicking back, things of that nature. Who else do we have? We got Brother Duvian in the chat room. Sonia C's, everything like that. It's good to see all these good folks in here. Let me see, who do we have? Lowland Prophet is in there. He said he subbed. Thank you very much for subbing. Hey, Lionsden, did you get a chance to check out my latest? Not the video that I dropped about B Miles coming on tonight, but did you see the latest video that I did the Black YouTube video that I did, just trying to give a salute to everybody. Did you see that video?
No, I didn't get a chance to see it, but I'm
Oh,
probably
brother.
I'm really missing it, but I'm definitely will check it out though, the archives and whatnot.
Okay, well, you know, you're busy, you're living a married life, but definitely check that out, everybody. If you haven't seen that video, definitely go to my channel, check out the Black YouTube, the one that I did on Black YouTube. It's called Content Creators. You'll get a kick out of it. I got some good special effects in there, and I think you will enjoy that. So anything else, Lions Den, that's on the docket? I'm working on a video right now too, Lions Den, about melanin. I'm talking about melanin. I'm going to be presenting some material that people are probably familiar with or not. Some well-known folks that are giving up some good stuff. Let's see, Carl's opinion. Hey, thank you for the super chat. Let me give you a how do I say clap? Carl's opinion, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Believe me, I do not go without being humble. But Lions Den, so the video is going to have some prominent folks in it that people know. Mm-hmm. But what I did prior to the video that I'm going to play, I kind of talked about melanin and how it works. Oh. And a lot of times what I hear on YouTube is you hear a lot of people saying that Black people are aboriginally, right? That, oh, we come from Africa. Well, no, we don't come from Africa. We were here in what we call North America. Mm-hmm. My position is that if you understand melanin and the science of that, if you don't understand melanin, you can't understand any science. That's the number one thing to understand and have a knowledge of. Once you understand that melanin is created by the universe, that black holes were created through explosions, right? Mm-hmm. And let me hang on for 1 minute, folks. 1 minute. All right, here I go. So when you look at, through my studies, black holes are pretty much, and this is what I'm going to say in the video as well, black holes are really much based on, it's a region of space that has gravitational fields around it, which keeps in radiation, and it controls matter. Dark matter, which exists in space, is based on interacting particles, high energies. And I didn't realize this. There's cold, dark matter, and there's hot matter. There's cold and dark and hot matter. Now, according to astronomers, you know, people who study space, all that, they say that 85% of matter in the universe comes from dark matter energy. The reality is that this, brother, and I broke down what a dark matter is. Dark matter is what created the universe. It's God-given, because when you heard of the Big Bang theory in school, colliding, bam, boom, that created the universe, which is God-given. Big black holes are created by melanin. Black holes are made up of melanin. It's energy. Melanin is energy. And when you are a highly melanated person, such as black people, the minute you go outside, you are charged with those kinetic energies from the sun. So when you look at the movie Black Panther, and it had the vibranium, and that movie was all centered around the energies. That vibranium was simply a metaphor for melanin. Okay. How does melanin work? Okay. What is the principles of it? We know melanin as pigment. So my position is that if the universe is made up of melanin, and that is what created our solar system, our stars, our whole system, then black people are not only from what we call Africa, North America, South America, from all over the goddamn planet. No, it goes beyond the physical plane that we're on. See, one of our problems, Lions, then, is that we are too focused in talking about things that are in the third dimension. We got Art that just came on board. We're too focused on talking about things that have their reality in the third dimension. We never really get into conversations that go beyond the third dimension. And I'm going to play. Shit, I might as well. I'm pretty much giving away my material for my Melanin show. I may not even have to. I may not be able to release the damn video if I'm doing it tonight. I'm going to still release the goddamn video regardless. Okay, but we're so focused in the third damn dimension that we don't spend enough time thinking outside the third dimension. What is the third dimension? When I speak of the third dimension, Lions, and everybody listening, it's everything that you can see, touch, smell, and feel. So I'm touching this computer monitor, touching this desk you can hear, pushing these buttons. I'm trapped in the third dimension. Now, when I said here is that a black hole is a region of space having gravitational field so that where energy and matter, radiation cannot escape. This is the word that's false in this. This is European science. Gravitation, gravity. There is no such thing as gravity. We're trapped in a magnetic field of energy that keeps us trapped in the third dimension in these bodies that we are in, these vessels. Many times people talk about a soul. Do you have a soul? Do you have spirit? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Your soul or your spirit is not your physical vehicle that you're in. It's beyond that. So when you look at the ancient Kemet or ancient, because black people, African people, black people, Aborigine, Hebrew, Israelite, whatever we want to call ourselves, which are really constructs. They're really titles, right? This is why I'm saying I want to think beyond these titles. I want to think beyond the physical third dimension. The goal is to break out of the third dimension into the fifth dimension. Break out of it. Because once you get into the fifth dimension of understanding, then you can understand how our ancestors were able to build great monuments, which there is no computer today that can break it down. Why is it that they haven't been able to rebuild pyramids like you have in what we call Egypt, which is really Kemet, the land of the black? Make sure you get the book Stolen Legacies, folks out there. Check out Ivan Van Sertima's They Came Before Columbus, which talks about how Africans are what I call, Lions Den, this is what's crazy, man. We give ourselves these terms like black, African, Aborigine, Moors, all these terms, right? But if you think outside of the third dimension and you think on a more astral projective plane of fifth dimension, you don't need to call yourself black or anything, because what we are, going back to dark matter and black holes, melanin creating the universe, black people, what we are dark matter. We are high vibrating dark matter, high vibrations. We operate on high vibrating energies. We are dark matter. Now, I know it would sound funny to everybody to say, how you doing, dark matter, brother? But that's really what we are. Now, when you look at melanin, how does melanin connect to all of this? Well, melanin is in your eyes, it's in your ears, it's in your nervous system, it's in your pineal gland. Black people don't have a calcified pineal gland. The mayonnaise people do. We don't. Okay? It's in your ear. Why do black people operate on a low levels? Like when you listen to bass, we tend to enjoy bass. When we dance and we move, we have a certain rhythm to our movement. And a lot of times black people go around saying, oh, you got swagger. It's not that it's swagger, it's the melanin in your body that gives you swagger, black people. Now, how does melanin operate as well? Let's see. Good old Professor McGee at San Francisco State told me, Dr. Professor McGee, that melanin is like a family. Does not operate off of an individual ideology. Melanin operates off of a continuum, not a linear. It's not a linear. It's a circular energy. Circular. The universe is circular. Planets are circular. Your nappy hair that we always complain about, that we want to dye and lay back to the side. We want to put. We want to dye it, and we want to put on things that emulate people that have oppressed us. Your circular, if you touch your hair right now, black people, and you see the circularness of your hair, that circularness is just like the freaking universe. If you look at plant life, everything on this planet has that same circular pattern that's in your hair, because we are more than just third dimension. We are planetary. We are universal people, because we're high vibrating people. We come from the freaking universe. Okay, because we were created by the universe. So roll up. So over. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Let me give you a clap here. I should bring you on the platform. Let me give him a clap. I want to apologize again to everybody that B Miles was supposed to be on with me. There was some issues going on with the young lady that was supposed to be on. So I had to still come on here and make that announcement and still do something. It's good to see everybody in the chat room. I'm going to, as I shut my rhetoric up, I'm going to have Lions Den speak and give out some names in the chat room. We're going to introduce Brother Art that's on the panel with us. But Black in Japan, I send you a link, brother, if you're out there too. So when you look at how we operate as Black people, what makes us very unique, and Professor Dr. McGee would always tell me, all you have to do is study melanin, and it will tell you everything you need to know about the universe and about yourself. You don't have to go around saying that you are more superior to anybody. Simply study the data, study the science, the Black biology, and you will understand whether you're superior or not, because it will speak for itself. Like this. Black people, when you go into a room and you are around someone, or you're somewhere and you begin to have a feeling like, oh, I don't like it here. I don't like this person. This person gives off a funny vibe. I got to get out of this room. I got to get out of this place. Some would say that that's a sixth sense. No, it's not. It's your melanin that is telling you that something is not right. This is the reason why. Study melanin. Melanin also acts like a photosynthesis, like a plant. It takes in negative energies. It takes in positive energies. So if you're around something negative, you're going to be most sensitive to that, because the melanin is like a cloak around you, around your vibrating body, your dark matter body, pretty much absorbing things that are good or bad. So when you feel that way, you'll say it's a sixth sense, but it's actually your melanin reading the situation. Okay. The darker you are, the more melanin you have. Okay. It's in the water. It's in your food. It's in the plant life. The animals that you see running around with different color have melanin. It determines the pigment of your skin. It determines your color of your hair. When you have moles on your body or you have freckles, that's melanin. What are the most sensitive areas on your body, Lions Den? On your body? Where are your sensor? Where are your erogenic zones? Where are your sensory zones? Where at on your body?
I say it's the nose, the ears, the eyes, and more than likely, just like your skin tone, especially your neck.
Well, the most sensitive areas of your body too, brother, are your nipples, your chest area, your sexual organ areas. And if you look at your body, the darkest areas of your body are close to those areas. The reason why those areas are very sensitive is because those areas is charged with melanin. So when you are intimate with a woman, or intimacy, and you are bringing forth life, and a woman is a receiver, and a man is a giver of his seed to a woman to bring a child into the world, off of the vibrating, what you would call the balancing energy of life. I think the woman represents the positive vibrating energy, and the man the negative, and those two coming together brings that life forth. Okay, so under these theories, under this rationale, which I'm speaking upon, so when you look at Kemetic society or Kemet, where you have the African Unk or the Unk, which represents man and woman, a balance. When we're on YouTube and we're arguing with each other as black women and black men, that is not a balance. We are off balance. We are off harmony, which is why we have these discontents or these opinions towards each other, because we're off harmony. And in fact, when we're behaving like this towards each other and we're doing things so nasty towards each other or anything in life, you're operating off of low vibrations. To operate off of high vibrations is to operate off of powerful, positive energies that take you to a whole nother place. So, for example, if you are a man and the only thing that you can think about is sex with a woman, sex 24/7, that's all you're thinking about is sex. You're thinking on a low level energy, low vibrations. You're almost on the animal stage, because that is what animals do. Animals go by their instincts. They don't think and use logic. We as men or as humans, we have to use logic. So we have to go beyond just this physical urge to have sex with people, to have this physical urge to use drugs. Drugs have an adverse effect against us because melanin will take in that positive and negative energies. That's why drugs like crack cocaine actually impact us as well. And some believe that stuff like crack cocaine and other drugs were designed specifically to destroy black people, because these scientists, they know our body chemistries, because Europeans have been studying the black body for a long time. They have been studying melanin. They've been studying dark matter. They can't quantify it completely. They're trying to get close to it. They would like to get it right in a freaking bottle, right? But they just have not been able to figure it out. And they probably never will, because they don't have the pineal gland or the third eye to be able to figure it out fully as we can. The problem is that a lot of us are asleep and not awoke to thinking outside of the third dimension in a lot of ways. There's people who believe in meditation, sun gazing, things of that nature that can be good for you. Keep in mind, there are people that believe that if you open up your third eye to other dimensions, that you could either bring in things that are evil or things that are positive. Now, it's up to other people's interpretations how that works for you. But I simply know that any time that I meditate late at night and I begin to get into a dream state and feel comfortable, I begin to get most positive thoughts, most inspirational thoughts. You know why? Because melanin is involved in your dream state. It is what gives you the ability to dream. So when you have people that interpret dreams, or people say that dreams represent something going on in your past, something in your future, or your present, is the melanin in your pineal gland that is bringing about your dream state, your third eye state. And that is why it is important to energize the neuromelanin in your body by getting your ass outside, black people, and getting those kinetic energies from the sun. You got white folks who sit outside all day tanning. Black people are the ones that need to be outside getting the sun's energies, because the sun's energies does something to us. Eat your proper foods too. Watermelon, don't be ashamed, black people. Your collard greens, there's various colorful fruits and vegetables that actually react positively to our melanin because they are charged with melanin. When you eat a banana and a banana is super ripe and it's dark, that's the best time to eat it, because when the banana peel gets dark like that, that's the melanin that's in that particular fruit. It's in everything. Our ears, our eyes, they have even done studies where they have blindfolded children with dark eyes versus children with lighter eyes and put them through mazes. And they were able to find their way through that maze because the melanin will absorb everything around you, which is why Black people, we also have issues with our health as it relates to hypertension, because if you're struggling, if you're in this society dealing with racism, prejudice, and also dealing with the everyday hustle and bustle of trying to make it through life, when you become stressed out, what's going on, Reg, the bad guy? When you become stressed out, the melanin will be impacted by the stressors of your everyday life, and it will impact you even more, which is one reason why Black people get hypertension. Plus, understanding your Black biology, Black people, plus Black people in general, because we have a high levels of sodium already in our system. And when you're using all this table salt, you're simply ODing yourself. So we have to understand our Black biology better. And if you understand, to understand Black biology, you must understand melanin, how it works, how it operates. And you have to also understand and ponder to yourself, if Black people are vibrating and we are dark matter, and the black holes is what created the universe that we're in, and we are the most highly melanated people on this planet, then wouldn't that mean, in theory or in reality, that we are actually from the universe, not just the planet, that we actually come from the universe? And there are those who believe, there's a doctor, let me see this for a minute. There's a doctor, Dr. Norman Bingham, who was interviewed, and I'm going to play this interview, and he talked about when they came back from the moon. Lance Armstrong and all those guys, and Buzz and all those guys came back. Something happened that they didn't want to tell people about. And this guy that I'm going to be playing is a top. He's not a crackpot. This guy worked for NASA. He was a top-notch scientist. He had clearance that goes beyond the president of the United States. And he said that they saw something. They believed that, and you probably heard this on YouTube. Probably saw the video or heard the audio. He said he slipped at the mouth as he was being interviewed by this woman, and he said that they saw Black people, that there was some type of craft, whatever the hell you want to call it, that intercepted the capsule as they were coming back down. There was something that went wrong, and that they encountered beings. And he said these beings were black. He said they were dark. And my question is, if we are dark matter and we run around talking about extraterrestrials, some people, and extraterrestrial only means someone of heightened intelligence, could we as Black people be the extraterrestrials that we're looking for? Are we the actual beings? Because if our ancestors built things that they can't build today, if Africans, Black people, whatever we want to label ourselves, I say dark matter people, if we were creating things in this universe and in this society that they can't figure out today, then that means that our ancestors had a connection to the universe. The Dogon, who I did a video on, have figured out how to map the whole solar system, and they don't even have any physical technology like we have today. They were able to figure out the dwarf star, Sirius B, Sirius C. There's a dwarf star, a white star that's a small star out there in space. These brothers were able to figure it out without any quote unquote technology, as we see today, the Dogons. And the Dogons talk about they have a story about they were visited by those dark mattered individuals who taught them the technology. Now that's their story. And they do rituals in that part of West Africa to these dark mattered beings. I believe they were Black people. Now I know y'all probably saying, Info Man is crazy tonight. The brother has lost every bit of ounce of sense that he has tonight. Do your research, folks. Study the Dogon. Okay? Understand that the Egyptians, when they went up to the moon to space, and I know there's people that believe that they never even made it to the moon because they never show you the dark side of the moon, by the way, which I find very interesting. But there are people that have said through telescopes that when you look at the civilization, what we call Egypt today, that the pyramids, the whole landscape is in perfect perpendicular to the heavens and the solar system, that it all coincides with the way the planets move around. How the hell could they figure that out? Nobody's able to do that today unless they were on some more higher level. I say that they had it figured out how to break out of the third dimension into the fifth dimension of the next level. And there's even stories about lower gods coming down teaching them. So there's all these stories. And then how do you build a structure from top down? How the hell do you do that? Now, I'm not talking about green men, folks. I ain't talking about no buggly eyes. I'm talking about black folks. Dark mattered folks did this shit. So with all that I said, all that I've ran off at the mouth about, Art, you're pretty on top of things, brother. What are your thoughts, Lions Den? Lions Den, before we go to Art, give some love to everybody in the chat room if you could, and I'll be quiet.
All right. Give a shout out to Rosalind Obegowe, Ova, Kendra Seston, Sonia Seeds, Brother the Nubian, Big L, my homie. Okay, I'm gonna scroll back a little bit. Nia Eyes, Affordable One, Duma Gozer, Reg the Bad Guy, Dave Tao, Robin the Girl Wonder, my beautiful wifey, of course. Let's see, and I guess so far, the Sun God is in the building.
Okay.
And that's basically it, info.
Okay, no, it's cool. Things got changed tonight. Brother B Miles was supposed to be on, and I just had to, make some adjustments. Brother Art, it's good to have you here, brother. I'm gonna give you a clap.
Sure. Peace, fam. You guys hear me?
Peace, brother Art. We're here. We hear you just fine. What's going on?
What's going on, Art? What's going on, brother?
Got a janky internet system at the house, and supposed to get it better on the 20th or so, but got to deal with it. Yeah, I was wanted to add too that your melanin is supposed to be linked with melatonin productivity, that hormone that helps you sleep. And if you think about Michael Jackson, he had a very huge problem with sleeping. And there's no secret that he was getting paler and paler each year. So you have to think about also that he had to take all kinds of different sleeping drugs because it was damn near impossible for him to sleep. So that's one of the things to think about, that, as long as you have your melanin, that could be a good vehicle for you to have good melatonin productivity. Also, you're dealing with the pineal gland. I think, did you mention that earlier?
I mentioned that the pineal gland is where you get the neuromelanin that you need. And that's also where I think the third eye, what we call the third eye, is at. And melanin is actually what pretty much empowers that area. So the bottom line is, one of the bottom line is that if you understand how melanin works and how it operates in the body, in the brain, and nervous system, everywhere, if you understand that, you will understand the key to other science, because without that melanin, all the other science don't matter.
Yes, and they said the pineal gland looks like a pine cone. Also, it pretty much vibrates, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, right under the brain. And your brain is supposed to be made of copper. The pineal gland is supposed to be made of Carbon.
Break it down, brother.
666. 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons. Right?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they try to link that to Saturn energy. They got Saturn from SETI or Set or what have you. And sometimes they even consider the pineal gland the seat of Saturn. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or God's throne, all that kind of stuff. There's so many different references to the pineal gland. You mentioned dreams. If you close your eyes, you know, if you really think about it, you're going back into your mother's womb.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, when you came out your mother's womb, you came out perfect. Even if you have 6 toes or whatever it was, as a baby, you came out perfect. When you're going to sleep, you're recharging your batteries and returning to that state as far as you can within that time you're sleeping. So when you're closing your eyes, for sure, you're always going back into the universal or the dream world. Also, you mentioned too, the dreams are supposed to give you the answer to your physical problem. But the only thing is, you have to learn how to read the symbols from your subconscious, because your subconscious is not really privy to letters and all that kind of stuff. They really go by symbols. So sometimes if you're dreaming about a person, you're not really dreaming about that person. That person is a symbol of something that you need to address. I mean, some people do dream about people or whatever, but there's so many different categories of dreams that I can't go into much of. But I think you were going still into the melanin part. I mentioned that on the other chat, is that so far the standard of beauty is always what the powers that be puts out there. But later on, just like pretty much close to the 70s, the standard of beauty is going to be what nature puts out. So whatever nature produces, when you're in line with that, that's what's going to be the main thing that's going to take over. I mean, you kind of see it a little. It's a big fight right now. Either you real natural or you hella synthetic. If you see the difference, especially with us. So, like I said, there's so many things to really consider. But did you mention anything about the pineal gland being calcified?
Yeah, I was saying that Europeans, for whatever the reasons are, they have a calcified pineal gland, and there have been theories. When I was in college, Professor McGee was telling us that it could be because of having a calcified pineal gland. That could be the reason why Europeans through history have never been able to be sympathetic. They don't have sympathy. So if you have a calcified pineal gland, I'm sorry, it takes away your ability to have sympathy and empathy and understanding for other people. So it's almost like, and I'm going to probably get raped over the coals for this. It's almost like it's almost like being in the animal state, because what do animals do? They operate off of instinct. They're not operating off of concern with your feelings. If they got to hunt and eat you, they're going to eat you. Humans, we have the ability, hopefully, to be able to reason. But if you've got a pineal gland that's calcified, then you're going to act like an animal. You're going to behave in an animal. And thus, based on historical purposes, when you look at Europeans, what did they do? They had wars with each other. They fought against each other before they decided to come and mess with what we would call people of the dark matter persuasion, such as ourselves. They were warring on each other, trying to stump out each other and conquer one another. And that is sort of what, and that is sort of what animals do when they're fighting over resources. And that is what Europeans have been doing today and what they have done throughout centuries, and that is to fight over resources. And in some ways, we as Black people in America, people are not going to like this, we have adopted some of these same behaviors, living in this type of I would call third dimension realm. This third dimension realm is not allowing us to think on a higher vibrating level. So we are naturally high vibrating people, but we have things that are barriers that keep us operating off of low vibrations, such as our desire just to do all these sort of things on instinct. Oh, I got to have sex with every woman that runs around. Oh, I got to do this. I got to eat this kind of food. I got to go to all these kind of behaviors that are being influenced on us from the outside, that's taking us away from our naturally who we are as men, as women, as Black people.
Yeah, consider, like the pineal gland is damn near a recorder that's moving in frequency form.
Mm-hmm.
And your brain is your storage. So if you think about, I got some of this stuff from Dr. Sebi, by the way.
Okay.
He broke it down very simple. He was saying that the brain is made of copper and the pineal gland is made of carbon.
Mm-hmm.
And carbon and copper pretty much generates electricity. So once you get that friction, if it's going real fast, then basically, you got more electricity generated in the body. If it's going slow, that means that your energy is low.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, some people wake up sweating. Think about that. Go ahead, brother.
I have woke up a few times sweating, and I also know that within this third dimension body that we're in, there's a electric current in our system. Am I right or wrong? We have a electric current in our bodies. Do we and do we not?
We sure do. We sure do.
And go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I'm building on you, man. You on the roll.
So let me do this. Let me, Lions Den, if you have anything you want to add. We've got Real Aaron Collins that's come on board. If he wants to add anything to the discussion, he's more than welcome. Things went a little awry tonight, folks. I was supposed to have Brother B. Miles with me interviewing a young lady about the issues of brown and Black coalition. It did not work out. We're going to try to reschedule. Some things went kind of fooey. And he apologizes. I did send him a link. I wanted him to come on and talk to everybody. But I'm glad to see everybody here. Sun God, you're welcome here. I see Brother Benuvian. I see your brother Kendrick in there. Good to see you. So let's move forward. Lions Den, you want to add anything, brother, to the discussion?
Yeah, I was thinking about when it comes to melanin people, when it comes to the sun, that we are protected by the sun. When it comes to white people, they've been having like skin cancer because of the sun. So my question is that is the sun is protected by us melanin people, or is it because of the sun is just like protected us but not protected by another race? Let's just answer that question.
Okay, let me just say this. Basically, what happened is the more pigmentation that you have, the more melanin you have, the more barrier blockers you have in your skin. So basically, the reason why Europeans tend to get wrinkled a lot faster than Black people, we've all heard the old saying that Black don't crack. The reason why they tend to age faster is because they're not as they don't have as much pigmentation, or they don't have these barrier blockers in their cell structures. It goes down to the micro level of the cells. The sun is able to penetrate their skin. Do you know when you go outside, the sun is always destroying and damaging cells in your body? So what happens, because they're able to get past the protective barrier of Europeans who have fairer skin, the sun is able to do more damage to the skin because it's able to kill the cells in their skin at a faster, rapid pace, which brings about their skin breaking down and becoming more wrinkled. When you have for the purpose of tonight's show, when you have highly vibrating dark matter people such as Black people, particularly very dark-skinned Black people, you have it's harder for the sun rays to penetrate through your skin to break down the cells on the micro level, which would speed up aging, which is why Black don't crack. And also, if you notice, in our skin, we have oils. Our skin tends to have more oil base to it. And having oil base to your skin actually works in your favor to keep your skin young, to keep it more not breaking down. That, and guess what makes that all possible? Once again, it is melanin. If you don't understand melanin, how it operates and works in your body, your everything, trying to study other science is a waste of your time. If you understand melanin, you will understand every other key of science, because all of it derives from melanin, because melanin is what created the freaking universe. I rest on that.
Hey, brothers, how you doing?
Big
All
Eric,
right, Eric Collins, good to have you here, brother.
Eric Collins, what's up,
real
man?
Eric Collins.
What's going on, Lions Den? A long time no see, brother.
How's
Anyway,
it been?
It's been a minute.
I've been well. Yeah, it's been a while. So yeah, you all mentioned talking about the pineal gland, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, I've heard that they have a calcified pineal gland. That makes sense too. What you were saying, information man, earlier about how they don't seem to have any empathy. That makes sense, but why they can sit up there and explain why they do these heinous crimes, like all these school shootings and things like that, these mass shootings, and seemingly when you see them on the news, they have this real stoic, dazed look on their face. It's because of that calcified pineal gland, and people wonder about that. That's why we can say that even the hardest hardcore black person wouldn't necessarily go onto a major or mass event where a large gathering of people and just start busting out and nutting up and opening fire, because
Let me
it's
say
just not
something.
in us to do that.
Okay, let me just say something right minute. We got my man, the elder, who I'm supposed to be interviewing, who's in the chat room. What's up, my brother? What I'm probably going to do, because I got the brother's number, I'm going to see if I can call the elder and get him piped into this conversation, because I've got his number. Elder, if I can call you, brother, right now and pipe you into this conversation, let me know in the chat room, because I'm pretty sure everybody would love to hear some of that peace, blessing, and love that you have to spread, brother, and your knowledge. So let me know. No, let me see. I never heard of that person. Hey, brother Rich, I'm going to give him a call. So continue with what you all are saying, brothers. Continue, brothers. Continue, brothers.
So what I was saying though is that calcified pineal gland is it's very interesting how they could do the thing. I've always wondered why they could do the things that they do and not seemingly it could just be so normal to them. But now I understand it. It's because of that calcified pineal gland, as you stated, and the fact that even in our, like I was saying, that even in our most hardcore stage, we have some level of, say, some level of remorse over the things that we do.
Okay, brother. Wait a minute. Brother, this is Elder Rashad. What's up, brother? It's Info Man. What's up, brother? I just wanted to, I know you're in the chat room right now. I know we got to do an interview, which I'm going to set up for this coming week. But I figured since you're in the chat room, I call you and bring you on board our little chat that we're having here. What are your thoughts about what we've been talking about? What are your thoughts, brother?
I just got into the chat room, so I don't know the main conversation y'all talking about.
Well, I started talking about melanin, and how understanding melanin, you understand every other science, and you have to understand how melanin works in our black bodies, and that black people, we operate on high vibrations. I hear you say all the time that meditate and vibrate. We're high vibrating people. We're dark matter type people. And we spend a lot of time talking about black people originated from here and there in the third dimension of this planet. But we have to realize that we even go beyond this planet. We're from the universe, brother. And so we are melanated people, and melanin was created by black holes in space, God given. which created the universe, which we as people on this earth are the most melanated, which means we are God-like. We are from the universe because we are the most melanated folks on this planet. I also talked about the Europeans because they have a calcified pineal gland, which is the third eye when you're meditating and everything like that. Their pineal gland, as you know, Elder, is calcified. And because of that, because it's calcified, they don't have a sense of empathy or sympathy. They can't sympathize, which almost causes them to operate off of an animal-like behavior, which is when you look at Europeans in history, they always have warred on each other, fought each other, battled, try to control resources, which is very much what you would say animals do. Animals do what? They fight over resources. And so, and black people, we've always historically operated off of harmony in balance with nature in the universe. So that's sort of where the conversation was going. It kind of evolved there. I was supposed to interview Brother B. Miles tonight about another issue, and something happened where he couldn't come on. So we kind of brought the conversation to this area now. And that's why I brought you on, just to say what's up to you and let you know that I'm definitely going to get you on for an interview. But I wanted you to add to the discussion, brother. It's good to hear you. Go right ahead.
Well, thank you very much. But just like you said, the reason the white man is so violent because you cannot open that pineal gland. And your pineal gland brings you to other dimensions, other higher realms of existence. But he can't get there because that pineal gland does not open. So he has an animalistic attitude. Just like you say, always in the wall, always in the fighting, always in the stealing, always in conniving, because that's the true nature, because they can't open that pineal gland to move up to a higher spiritual level.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right, brother. Peace, blessings, and love. They don't have the peace, blessings, and love. Exactly. So
exactly. That's why they always into that violence. They all their history is nothing but violence.
And so
their history is about taking somebody else's resources, taking somebody else's land. And just like you said, that's just like they do in the animal kingdom. They strive for survival by killing, taking somebody else, scavenging, taking somebody else's,
I hear you, brother. Yeah, so that's the reason why I was saying tonight that we as black people, we really need to start studying. I call it black biology. We need to really start studying melanin and how it works, because Europeans, they've been studying this stuff. They're looking at dark matter. They really want to get it, like, they want to quantify it to the point that they can get it in a bottle. They want to, European science, which is really dark matter science of black people. It's our science. That's another thing I was going to say tonight, that a lot of times black people, when you have black people that are into science and things of this nature, a lot of times we try to come down and say, oh, that's boring, that's being a nerd, without realizing that science is us. That's us. They've just taken our science and they've manipulated it to make us think that they created it, when in fact they're using African spirituality. They're using whatever you want to call it. They're using a format that comes from our ancestry, and they're trying to twist it into theirs, and then they're trying to distort it.
Exactly, because we created mathematics and geometry, because you had to have all those science to build those gigantic pyramids without mouth. Each stone has to perfection. That takes a lot of science, takes a lot of geometry, a lot of mathematics. But I don't know how they got them in place. It's amazing. I mean, I think those people are probably divine people that that built those pyramids, because the white man can't build nothing today, not them kind of pyramids. Because he don't have the science, he don't have the the knowledge. When they went over into Egypt, they got some of that knowledge, but they don't have it all because they're not divine people. A lot of that knowledge comes from divine people, from the universe.
Yes.
Our ancestors.
Yes. That's the key. That's the key. And you know, Elder, in a lot of ways, I believe that that in a lot of ways that we are our ancestors because our DNA is made up of our fathers, our mothers, and their mothers' mothers and fathers' fathers. So in a way, if you look at things from a DNA level, on that micro level, we are, all of us walking around are the embodiment of our ancestors. We often speak of our ancestors as they're gone, but in reality, we are the embodiment of our ancestors because they run through our DNA. And if we are alive, they are alive. They've done studies, Elder, where they have, and even in crime scenes, where they have scooped up blood. And even if a person is dead and you get their blood, you know the blood cells are still moving around that blood. Okay?
Exactly.
So life still has a way of moving and living on. A lot of times we think of death, and I know it's going to sound kooky what I'm going to say. I don't really think there's such thing as death. I think when we die, we're dying. We die, we leave these physical bodies that we're in. So we look at death in a third dimensional level, but I think that once we leave these bodies, I don't think that we're really dead. I think we move on because we always talk about having a spirit. Well, what the hell is a spirit?
That's right. A spirit is when you go to sleep at night and you dream. Otherwise, your soul or your spirit that left that physical body, you experience other realms of existence. Death ain't nothing but a transformation from physical back to your true spiritual self.
You know what? Let me say, brother World Break, my man, World Breaker, he left the chat. If something happened, brother, come on back. Elder, if you want to stay on with us, brother, let me go over to the other brothers on the panel. They may want to say something to you or have some words they want to add. Anybody want to add anything, brothers?
You know, the brothers do their thing. I listen.
Yeah. They might want to say something to you, but brothers,
I just wanted to go on and so give a shout out and salute to Elder Rasan. Say hello to him and all. And just speak to Elder Rasan and show my respect. Say hello to the brother. And this is the real Aaron Collins. I'm glad to have you on board, brother.
All right.
Okay, my brother. Thank you very much. I appreciate that from my heart. And peace, blessings, and love to you and your family.
That's right. I love it. I love when he says that. Art, brother, you've been hearing us running our mouths here. What's your thoughts, brother?
Oh, just wanted to give peace and foundation to the elder. You know, if I'm allowed to speak.
Go right ahead, brother. I want to hear you.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing. They even made pine cones and worshiped them in Greece and Rome.
Wow.
They were taking everything from Egypt. You know, but think about if your pineal gland is calcified, and you got to remember, if anybody understand how certain sounds, certain tones kind of stimulates that pineal gland to vibrate a certain way to your advantage. I think, if I'm not mistaken, maybe the elder can help me out. Sometimes it depends on when you were born, but from what I gathered, I think that the music note B was the one that makes it vibrate the most. Is the music note B. I forgot the number frequency behind it. It's 100 and something megahertz. But you might want to experiment if anybody has access to like a pitch control device, or maybe a tuning fork, or maybe a keyboard or something like that, and just go back and hit that tone for a few minutes, and then sometimes you want to hum it and chant it.
That's the love my sister Monique.
Say it again.
I think he was giving somebody a greeting, a sister that he saw. Go right ahead, though, Art. I'm hearing what you're saying, brother. You're saying good stuff.
Yeah, because I know people are aware of Dr. Layla Africa. He has a good African holistic chart on different tonations and music notes according to your different, births and how it goes to different organs. And the one that I knew for sure that he had is that the B key was for the pineal. But you might want to look that up because it'll take a long time to describe it online. I mean, on the chat. But and plus, if you're a Pisces, that's supposed to be your neck of the woods, Pisces people. So I'm a little jealous on that part. But but overall, you got to make sure that pineal gland is well catered to. And just like 24-hour fitness, when you're working on your body for your physical, you got to work on your spiritual and your mental as well. So those things you got to do exercises on. So a lot of those things, just meditation, that's real good for the pineal gland. It's the meditation. Because at least you're sitting upright and you're making sure that everything is blank within and you're tuning everything out. That is your pineal gland going to work. So what it's doing is pretty much recepting things from within. They say that that's activating the master with.
Art, what happened? Look like we lost Art. He's gone. I'll have to send him another link. Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I'm still here, info.
Okay. Aaron, can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, I got to send Art a link. Some kind of way he got pulled off. I'll send him another link. Anybody want to add where he left off at or have anything to say? We got brother Elder Rashawn on, the elder on with us on the phone, folks, and it's really good hearing him speak on the platform tonight. Everybody in the chat room, I appreciate you being here. Lions Den, maybe you can give some love to folks in the chat room while I try to get Art back on.
Yeah, I would like to say a shout out to C Over, Monique Hill, Smokescreen, Avery Hodge, Rosalind Abegaway, and brother Elder Rashad in the building, the Sun God, Kendra Celestin, Erica Howard. We got this, of course. Basically, we also have Brother Danubian still in the building. Erica Howard still in the building. Let's see here. I see Bismillah Revany is in the building. Stephen Mininsky's in the building.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
Yet.
Okay, what happened? At the white man pull you off, get you something like that?
He blew his cover on the calcified gland, so he wanted to shut me up.
Okay.
But I was just saying that you operate from the once you tap in with the master from the master within, that's when you start getting a lot of answers you were looking for. Because sometimes sometimes other people's advice is not as good as the ones that you get from within. And believe it or not, it's not just coming from you, it's your ancestors tapping into you. It's way more to it, but trust me, at least you need to get the ball rolling and get things going and see how things are. And then you have the elder right there and let him know, hey.
That's very much my sister, the radical sister.
Oh, okay. The radical sister. She's in the house tonight, or where is she's in the chat room, or where you talking to her at, Elder?
Oh no, but I was making a comment on my phone.
Oh, okay. You're in contact with her. I see what's going on. Tell her info man said what's up. What's up to her? She's a good sister.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do, let me see here. All right. Art, continue with what you were saying, brother. Because see, he's on his phone, so you got to keep that in mind. He's I think he's talking to the radical sister, but go right ahead, brother. I'm listening. You're making good points.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that even though it sounds like I'm advising people to do things alone, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that, you know, you keep doing all these things, and you take your findings back to your elder and let them know what you saw, what you observed, and then based on their experiences and then how they what they studied, they can keep telling you things that you can add on or take away. So this whole spiritual game that we do is serious. I mean, just think about this. I mean, for a few years ago, every time we thought about spirituality, we can only think about the church. So now we just now learning that spirituality is not always about the church.
Well, let me say this to you, brothers. If we've been on this earth for super long time, I'm talking about black folks in particular. The truth of the fact of the matter is we've been living on this planet before organized religion was even thought of. Would you agree or disagree with that hypothesis? Can you guys can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Most definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Elder Rashad is gonna speak to that, and then I'm gonna come to Brother Aaron Collins, Art, and Lions Den to speak to that. Go right ahead, Elder.
I agree with that 1,000%. Because those people that are on that island with the maps, everything, you know, the people, the brothers and sisters that took that invader.
I'm listening.
That proves that they said them people been here 60,000 years. They found Lucy, some bones, in South Africa. And they took the DNA test, said she was 3.5 million years old. So we've been here millions and millions of years. There was no religion. And even the Native Americans here, the Seminoles, you know, a lot of the indigenous people here, they ain't know nothing about that. So, you know,
but my
religion part, that come later.
Yeah. My point in bringing this up is that then if Christianity as we know it and some of these religions haven't been around as long as we have been on the earth, then the question you must ponder, melanated people, vibrating people, you must ponder what were our ancestors, which are in our DNA. What were they practicing? Some would say African spirituality. What were they practicing prior to these things that we know today as Christianity, Catholic religion, Islam, and all of that? There had to be something prior to that. Now, what that something is, maybe we'll never know. But damn it, what I do know is every time they think that the earth is a certain age, every time they think that a civilization, particularly that has to deal with our people, is a certain age, they find out that it's older than they thought. When you look at the Sphinx in what we call Egypt today, I think a few years ago they did some digs and they found out that the statue went deeper into the earth than they first thought. And when they carve and date the stone, they realize, oh shit, we got it all wrong. This civilization is older than we think. So therefore, if the civilization is older than we think, the planet's got to be older than we think. Matter of fact, we don't really know that. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to hit y'all with this one. And I heard Khalid Muhammad speak this one time. He said that the Europeans have manipulated time. This is how they manipulated time. The Europeans have played around with the calendar because we were operating off of the solar calendar, which really was in conjunction with the universe. See, we're universal people, but we've gotten away from it because we're so freaking trapped in the third dimension. So we think that time is what it is based on their linear concepts. When time is circular, it's not linear, it's circular. So what we do every year is that we're operating off of a linear calendar called what? Well, what? January, February, March, April. So it's 12 months in a year. That's what they tell us. How we know that there's really 12 months in a year? Matter of fact, my argument, keeping with what Dr. Khalid Muhammad said, is that black people, you don't know what time it is. You don't really know how old you are. We don't even really know what year we're in. You know why? Because they have manipulated the calendar. When you look at February, why the hell does February have 28 days? Other months have 30, sometimes 31. Nobody never asked those questions. That's because the Europeans have always been trying to manipulate time. This whole thing about daylight savings. To create daylight savings, they had to manipulate once again. So when you think about it, if the calendar has been so manipulated, then how the hell, for example, I think I'm 49 years old. How the hell do I know that I'm really 49 and not younger or older? How the hell do we know that we're really in the year 2018? Now, I know I'm sounding like the damn Matrix and shit, like Morpheus right now, but how the hell do we know that when everything that we know has been manipulated and we've been culturally conditioned to go by this calendar? They say that Jesus, if Jesus ever did live, was born on the 25th of Christmas, which everybody's about to celebrate, when in fact, if Jesus really did live, it tells you in the Bible that there were sheep that were flocking when the wise men come. Sheep don't flock in December. Sheep, I believe, flock in either spring or something shit like that. So do we have it backwards? Are we actually celebrating Jesus' birth in December when in fact he was born in spring and he was killed in winter? Do we have it all twisted? Because we do know there was a collaboration between the pagans and these Christian churches that did collaboration together. Now rest on that. Anybody want to touch on that? Go at it.
Yeah, I want to say one thing about that time.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You made a valid point about that time. Because how in the hell the day changed 12 o'clock at fucking night and it's still motherfucking nighttime?
Just like there's a brother called Black in Japan. I can talk to him on a live stream and it'll be Tuesday where he's at in Japan, while it's still Monday where I'm at, right?
Exactly.
But we're in different time zones. But at the same time, we have to, what we've been taught, brother, is that we've been taught to look at time in space in a linear fashion, not a circular fashion, because Europeans have taken ancient science stolen from our people and they have twisted it. That's my opinion on that. Anybody on the panel want to jump in on some of that if you want to, or talk about something? Go right ahead.
Yeah, I want to say they have always admired us, and they've always tried to methodically, strategically take what we have, our sciences and mathematics, and use it against us. They've always put themselves in the mentality that since they can't prove anything, they'll steal someone else's. And they'll also say, well, they have this mentality that because I said so. So no matter what they say it because they believe it. They have no tangible evidence or facts. That's because they said it. That's why it's true. And that's why they forbid us to read, that they forbid us to do research and learn on our own. They forbid us to study text. That's why they kept books and things from us. And that's why they have systematically and once again strategically implemented and indoctrinated us into our minds that we are stupid, that we're ignorant, when they're actually they have it twisted. They have it all backwards, and they were able to manipulate this entire system to benefit them and to disenfranchise us. And we've literally, like Malcolm said, been flim-flammed and bamboozled.
Now, I don't bring up, some folks are going to probably say, okay, what's the point, Info? You're bringing up history, you're bringing up science, you're bringing up this. Okay, but what are we going to do? That's my whole reason to bring this up. If we can start understanding our biology, our spirit, our minds, and begin to get away from some of the things that we do to ourselves and to each other that's destructive. If we understand our place in this universe. Did you hear me say planet? I said this freaking universe. I ain't talking about no Africa, North America. I'm a this religion. I'm going beyond that. Our place in the overall universe. If we can understand that and use that as the key to getting off our asses, because I'm about solutions, and actually doing something to solve problems. As Neely Fuller Jr. says, we are here as men, as Black people. Life is about solving problems and issues. We as men have to solve problems, analyze, study, and then go forward with a plan of action. So my doing this tonight is to simply say, let's use the knowledge. It doesn't make any difference to know about pyramids if we can't take that knowledge and be inspired by it to do something in our individual communities, in our individual cities, our individual families to make things better for our people. Too often I've been on panels where people will say that the Black community is done for. No, the Black community as it comprises today is done, but we can also build something new out of the ashes. And I continue to say that it must be built through our youth. It is only through our children that it can be built, because you can't always build it with people who have a backwards mindset. So if you have Black people who want to stay in a mindset that cannot be changed, if you do your best to try to like inspire them and they are not willing to change, you've got to move on with those that want to change. And you have to look to the minds of the young, because they can simply, the mind of the young can be impressed upon by others who mean them no good. We already see what's happening in society where there's certain sexual agendas that are coming down to impact our children. So I'll leave with that. Art, you have anything you want to say? Lions Den, anybody?
Yeah, they would ask you like who is the original man? Pretty much the original man is the Black man, the maker, the owner of the planet Earth, the God of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. That's the thing that you have to constantly keep telling yourself, because that'll break the spell of the white Jesus syndrome. And the thing is, there's no knock on anyone else. You just call on reality from where everything started from. So even when you come up with that, you pretty much take away that concept of time, because the Black man has no birth rate. He has no beginning, nor he has an end. So if you did go by him having a beginning and an end, then basically then time exists. So reason why I'm bringing all that up is because that concept of time is crippling.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, when you start having it to where you be able to move things around at will, along with the universe, the planets, along with the earth, then you have no limits. So, if you think about how time and space were relating, were relating, one side was masculine, the other one was feminine.
Mm-hmm.
So right now they're far apart. That's why we're having these battles and beefs and stuff, because you don't know your place.
So if you don't know your place, that would mean that we as universal people, man and woman, we are off balance. We're not that unk. When you look at the African, the unk is in one, it's in balance, it's in harmony. So if we're off key, that we're off balance, basically. That's the word. We're off balance.
Yeah, because that's what it's about, because that unk is the cross of life. So, we're looking at the horizontal, that's pretty much feminine. The vertical is masculine, and it has the circle above, which is considered God's head. So it's more like an approval of his creation. I mean, there's so many ways to break down the Ankh anyway,
Yes, sir.
but it's one of them, and Christianity has stolen that. And matter of fact, I wouldn't even say they stole it, but they just took it and just tried to change it around for their little nations and meanings and forced it back on us. So it's almost like, how Malcolm was talking about how they stole something from you and sold it back to you, and then even tried to put you in jail for using it.
Mhm.
And we're sitting here like trying to make sense of it or even making full use of it when it's not really any use for us at all. All it does is keep us divided. So I would suggest that we really get back into our sciences, teach our children our sciences, and make sure that we all stay relevant through our children. Because usually our children right now, our children is regurgitating stuff that's being taught that has no kind of substance or no kind of far driven pathway to any type of freedom or greatness. So it's very, 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 very important that we regain what was lost. Because people keep thinking that, okay, if we don't talk about it, you heard this a lot, information man.
Mhm.
If you keep talking about the past, we'll never move forward. That's a bunch of baloney. Because that's what's that saying? You won't know where you're going unless you know where you came from. That's just key, man. I don't know why people try to take that away.
Mhm.
Sankofa.
Yeah.
Well, sure.
Always looking back.
Sankofa, basically.
When you look
Yeah,
at,
go back and get it.
let me just say this: when you look at what is time and space, you have to look at it from it's a physical object or events that can be located, called also space time continuum. I'm having a tongue twister here. So space time that continues. Einstein talked about if you were to travel through light years to a planet, that everyone on planet Earth would have aged while you would stay relatively the same age. If that's his Einstein's theory of relativity and all that other stuff. But guess what? Guess where he gets it from? He gets it from our ancestors. He gets his science. It's all this stuff has been recycled and stolen from us. Hell, I know George Makem. He does great shows and streams where he talks about Black scientists, all the inventions that Black people have created. I believe that it was a Black man that made the light bulb, and Thomas Edison stole the patent, got the patent for it, and made the money off of it. Because in those days, a lot of Black people made inventions, but they weren't able to get a patent. So a lot of times they would have a white person would get a patent for it and then put it in their freaking name. And then we sitting up here today in 2018 talking about Thomas Edison created the light bulb.
Yeah.
It's a crying shame.
I mean, look at Benjamin Banneker.
I was just thinking about him too.
Trying hard, man. They trying between him and Hannibal. I don't know which one are they trying to make more whiter. I'm like, good Lord. So it's like I said, man. I would what I hope people can do that's listening, try to look at the History Channel's Hannibal intro and see how you and test and see how your heart and everything trembles. This dude bald headed, just a beast with a cape and a sword and just slashing fools. I was shocked that History Channel did that. If you see that, ask yourself how many Black figures you see that they put out there. If they have a lot of that stuff going on, man, I don't think they'll lose control of every person. Period of that description. But it's the Hannibal Barca History Channel intro. I just say look at the intro. You can look at the whole thing, but if you just see the intro, when I showed my son, he can't even stop looking at that kind of stuff. He saw himself. You know what I mean? So I'd leave it at that.
But see, wait a minute though, Art. That's the power of it. That's why I said what I said. When we start there, we can use our history, our great past, to empower our youth today. The problem is that we spend a lot of time, sometimes as Black people, focusing on the negatives, things that have happened. Okay. But if we could somehow use the positives of our achievements to engineer a different social outcome in our children, through empowering them with things that give them better self-esteem. When I was coming up, I didn't have access to this kind of information. I'm like a lot of people. I went to school and I was bored by listening to Lincoln freed the slaves. That's a goddamn lie. All you got to do is read Bell's Capitalism and Slavery. He freed some black people as a way of economic sanctions against the South because he simply wanted to keep the Union together. He didn't give a damn about black folks. But, you know, a lot of your black conservatives, they like to pull that out of their asses about Lincoln being the Republicans being the party of Lincoln. No, Lincoln didn't give a damn about black people. It was an economic sanction against the South. They're making that free damn labor. So this is why it's important for us to know our history, but also empower ourselves with positive history about what we have achieved. Because I often hear people say, oh, we should stop looking at our past. Well, it depends on what kind of past you want to look at. If you want to infuse our youth with the positives, like you said, your son has been influenced by what he watched. So if children can recite rap songs, imagine if all we did was influence our kids with this kind of stuff. We would have a lot of black children that would decide to go into sciences and other kind of studies because they will realize that their ancestors created most of this shit, if not all of it. But instead, we have a culture of, I just hope that my child gets the basketball scholarship. I just hope that my child gets the football scholarship. And then the kids that are performing academically, we don't make as big a deal over them as we do the kids that perform athletically. So I'm going to leave you brothers with that. Elder, are you still there? Or did he hang up? Brother, I'm going to be ending this stream pretty soon, brother, but you've heard a lot of what we've been saying. You have anything you want to add? Brother Elder Rashad, you have anything you want to add, brother?
No, I think y'all doing a pretty good job at it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, brother. Well, I'll tell you what, brother Elder, I appreciate you coming on board. I'm glad that I have your number to be able to call you and bring you on board. We're going to set up an interview where I can interview you, just me and you, one-to-one. I thank you for being here. I'm gonna get ready to end this stream in a little while. So I just want to tell you thank you for being gracious to give us your knowledge tonight and spread your love. I appreciate it, brother.
Well, I appreciate coming on your show. I appreciate all the brothers and sisters that are on the panel. Yeah, everything's good. I'll tell you what, I like to do that live stream with you Sunday night.
Okay, we'll do it Sunday night. Brother, I'm going to set it all up. It's going to be, we're going to get it on and popping. I'm going to promote it. We're going to get it on and popping up in here. And I thank you, Elder. So, Elder, what I'm going to do, just to let you know, because I don't want to be disrespectful, I'm going to end the call with you right now and go back to the brothers on the panel and get them their last words and try to put a crescendo on this. And then I will be in contact with you for Sunday when we do the one-to-one interview, and I'll get all that all set up for Sunday. I really appreciate it, brother.
Okay, my brother.
All right. Peace, blessing, and love to the Elder. Wait a minute. Let me give him a clap. Elder, before you leave. No, before you leave, Elder, I need you to do one more thing for me. One more thing. Let me give you a clap first of all. All right. Yes. That's what I wanted him to say. Yes. All right. All right, everybody. You just heard the Elder on my channel, exclusive connection. The brother came on. I got his information, and this is the way we're going to do it. I wish I could get him on the Google Hangout. Maybe we can try to figure that out for Sunday. But if not, we're going to have him on the audio. It'll be like a radio show. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a beautiful thumbnail with his picture on it. So when he talks, you got this beautiful thumbnail, just the Elder covering the whole damn screen. It's going to be wonderful. We're going to chop it up. I'm hoping that everybody gets their black behinds over here. Fill up the chat room. Tell everybody about it. I'm going to promote this like Don King. I'm going to do a damn video. Like, I'm going to do a damn video to promote it. I want everybody over here. And everybody, make sure you subscribe to Brother Art's channel. Brother Art, if you're in the chat room, put something in the chat so folks can hit your avatar. Subscribe to his channel. Support the brother Art. He is a professor, a teacher. This brother is an educator and a hell of a damn artist and a musical genius. I'm putting a lot of hot sauce on the ketchup right now, but the brother is doing great things. The brother is powerful, intelligent. I'm always spending time with him over in LMP's channel, Life Machine Power, and enjoy dialoguing with him all the time. I have a lot of respect for him. We got Lions Den, who I've known for damn near 10 years now. We did Blog Talk Radio together, and we've done some other things together. So the brother's back on here with me. He's living in Tennessee now. He's happily married, dealing with the family. And then we got Real Aaron Collins. Oh, make sure you subscribe to Lions Den channel as well. Check them out. Lions Den, make sure you put something in the chat room. Matter of fact, both of you are moderated. You can put your links in the chat room so folks can follow you. Real Aaron Collins, make sure y'all check him out. Subscribe to his channel. Aaron, if you can, put a link in the chat room. If not, go in the chat room, hit his avatar, and subscribe. Also, as a reminder to everybody, make sure that you periodically go to everybody's channels that you follow to make sure that you're subscribed and the bell of notification is hit, because YouTube is trying to purge us by purging people that follow us by unclicking the bell, so that half the time when we're on, you don't even know we're on live. So you've got to check your bell of notification out, folks. Very, very important. Very, very important. Before I end this broadcast tonight, I'm going to play that audio of that scientist, Dr. Norman, talking about those black folks, those mysterious black folks in the universe that we come from, folks. I know I'm sounding kind of crazy tonight, but I had to put it there tonight. Very mysterious tonight. Okay. Any last words, brothers?
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that information, as always, I appreciate coming on here and sharing some knowledge with everybody, and just let them know that, basically, when we talk like this, I'm not trying to ruin nobody's holidays. I mean, okay, I get it. The holidays, that's fine. I mean, I take part in some of the festivities and stuff myself, but at the same time, I understand the history and the knowledge of it. Because, see, I look at Christmas as now basically is every day for me. Anytime you can wake up and still be breathing, to me, life is a gift. Now, if somebody wants to give me something, that's cool, fine. Have some dinner, that's cool too. All that. I mean, but all this stuff about Santa Claus and Saint Nick, come on now. That's just not real. Actually, Santa Claus was actually based on a black man. The whole idea of a man who took care of children, that was based on a black man. Jesus Christ, this image that you see of the white Jesus, that's actually a man named Caesar Borgia, who was supposed to be either a relative or a lover or someone of, I think, Michelangelo, one of those historical figures. Anyway, if you want to know really what Christ's description is, all you got to do is just look in the Bible. It gives his description. He had hair like wool, skin like bronze. So none of these pictures that you see fit that. We know that is a European image. They have always hijacked our images and our culture and used it for their own benefit. And
so Aaron Collins, if we were to go with the Jesus theory or the Jesus concept, if Jesus was a melanated man and he's the Son of God, then that confirms the theories I'm talking about tonight. For those of you who believe in Jesus, and the whole thing idea of Jesus, if Jesus was a melanated man, a black man, as some would say, then that would confirm that we come from the damn universe, because Jesus is from that universe. So, I'm not talking no E.T. come home or no green men. I'm talking real, stuff here. So I love what you said, brother. I mean, I know you're a religious brother, you're a spiritual brother on that level. So I I respect that. I respect, even if I may not agree with people's, whatever they believe, I still respect any black man, any black person who still is resonating positive energy. Lions, Den, any last words? And Lions, Den, before we go tonight, I want you to give some last ceremony to folks in the chat room too. But yeah, any last words, brother? Lions Den. Lions Den.
Is he snoring?
I don't know, man.
In the words
Let's,
of O'Shea, the white man got him.
yeah, I think the white man's got him. Go right ahead, Art, and give your last words for the night.
Okay. Yeah, I put my channel in, and I put the Hannibal footage as well, if anybody want to check that out. And also, man, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the Jesus that was painted was supposed to be in 2 official ones. And what made Cesare Borgia so special, he was the illegitimate son of Pope Alexander IV. And at first he had Leonardo da Vinci painted him, and then later on he had Michelangelo paint him.
Okay.
But Pope, what's his name? Cesare Borgia was pretty much a big warlord. So that's all he was out to do, was rule and kill. But for some reason, Pope Alexander IV adored him more than anybody else. So people, if you want to look at it, he's throwing the 2 fingers up. That's sort of like a Baphomet position as well. So there's a lot of symbolism in that. Also, the Son of God, sometimes they have you say S-O-N of God, but it really means S-U-N, because the sun is supposed to be beaming towards your pineal. God is the pineal.
Oh, wow. Thank you, brother. You just dropped a jewel. I appreciate you saying that, brother Art. That's probably the most important statement that was said tonight. You put it all together.
Right. They said no man has ever saw God and lived. Well, here's the thing. Lived. ED. Meaning that if you see God, you will live. But if you, well, it's kind of weird, but it's more like the more you keep seeing, the more you keep seeing the God in you, that's the longer that you're going to be, existing. But pretty much, how can I say? It's kind of hard to really break it down because we don't have much time anymore. But the whole thing is that when you talk, because there's lots of places where to say God is a man. If that's the case, then you're gonna have to make him exist in your existence. So everything in your body is pretty much a whole DNA blueprint way where you need to start understanding your existence and your greatness, and that's how you be able to discover the God in you. I mean, that's pretty much the best I can end on it.
No, but brother, no, wait a minute now. When you're talking like that, I'm not in a hurry to end the show, because the thing is that that's the kind of knowledge that needs to be put out there.
Yeah, because man and woman is God. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you get and then what happens is that between man and woman, either you're gonna have an ideal or a child. I mean, those are like concepts that we ran away from. This is the stuff that we are made of, but we're too busy trying to make somebody else's world fit in our world. This is, I mean, regardless of what kind of religion you're in, there were always some kind of principles from the beginning that you're supposed to take from it and then move on with your life. But for some, that's why I was saying believing is temporary and knowing is forever.
Exactly.
So if you believe something, most likely I can sway you and change your thought pattern. But if you know something, it's very hard to get you off of that block.
Wow.
So it's like what I said, it's very important. We have these things made in us, but we as men, we're supposed to build with each other, while our women are supposed to heal and spread and cultivate. That's why I was saying, know your place, stay in your lane, know your position. These are positions of nature. This has nothing to do with what society has you to be set out to do. This is the stuff that we're born to do. But when you run away from it, you have a price to pay. You know, I had a student, believe it or not, man, I had a student on the LMP show, and we were talking about something like that, and I was telling her that even though you want to do certain things that's considered away from nature, you still have that responsibility to try to make it fit in this world. So the question is, what are you willing to do to give back to Mother Nature, or what are you willing to do to give back to what created you?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what the thing. A lot of people just like, okay, I'm born, thanks.
Mm.
No, it ain't that easy. You gotta. There's a lot of things that I mean. The number one thing is you got to take care of yourself, because if you can't take care of yourself, then who how you gonna take care of somebody else?
Yeah,
And we talking about all this stuff: mind, body, and spirit.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, Art, in summary tonight, the conversation went in an area that I just went with the spirit of how I was feeling. Me and Lionsden got to talking. He told me that he moved to Tennessee, and this something just came over me, and I just think it was the ancestors inside of me that just made me take the conversation to where it went tonight. It was very organic. I didn't plan this, folks. I was supposed to be doing a show with B Miles of the Conscious Channel around a whole nother issue with a young lady. That didn't work out. And I believe that it didn't work out for tonight because he had to reschedule because the spirits were taking me in another place. And that is what happened tonight. And I had to go there. I'm going to tell you the honest truth. I already did a video related to melanin that I had pre-produced and I'm working on. And I think I'm still going to release it, but I had to go with this tonight. It was how I was feeling. It was what was on my mind. And so I want to thank you for taking this journey with us tonight, Brother Art and Real Aaron Collins. Lions Den, are you still there, brother? Lions Den. Okay, the white man's got him. And I hope that we can call, and we got to call someone to save Lions Den, wherever he is. We got to help.
Richard King, his books on melanin too are pretty informative.
Oh, okay. I will check that out. So, Sun God said, brilliant work, great live. God. Thank you, Sun God. Hey, Sun God, make sure you subscribe, brother. Everybody in the chat room, we're not finished yet. Do me a favor. I say this all the time. And let me give a shout out to Gab Talk Media. That's a good brother. Make sure y'all support him too as well. Let me just let everybody know. Do me a favor, because I do this with everybody that I support. I do it with everybody. Make sure that you share this video tonight in your individual social media so that it gets around. Share it. Doesn't cost you anything. Just share it. Make sure you hit the like button if you like. If you want to make comments, I love comments because I usually like to respond to comments, good or bad. I love them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have my man, Real Aaron Collins. Anybody that would like to give love to folks in the chat room, go right ahead, because I'm going to fire up this audio clip. Lions Den, is that you? What's going on? What's that sound?
That's me. You want me to give talk to the people in the chat?
Yes. Give some love to the chat room, brother, because
right.
I think the white man's gotten Lions Den.
All right, I'm about to do that right now. So yeah, you got I'm gonna say what's up to Sonia C's, Philly Check Reviews, Sun God, Kendrick Celestine, Affable One. Who else is in here? Brother the Nubian, J-Lo Rich, Brother Gab Talk Media. I said Sonia C's already. Who else is in the chat? I'm going up, going backwards. So in the chat, I think Macam was here. Who else?
And I've got to give
Hill. And yeah, that's about all I can see so far.
This is what I got to do, Aaron. Hang on for a minute.
Scratching. What's going on?
Oh, okay. Hey, Aaron, mute yourself for just a minute. I got to make another announcement if you don't mind, brother.
I'm about to do that right now.
Okay, thank you. All right, let me give another shout out to Carl's Opinion. who gave me another super chat tonight, and I got to say I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm going to give you a clap. I really appreciate that a lot. So what I'm going to do right now, folks, at this point in time, this audio that you're going to listen to about the doctor that I was talking to you about, who had top clearance in NASA, and he's basically spilling the beans. It's very mysterious material. So definitely listen to it. Think about what he says, about what they witnessed as it relates to some of the stuff that I talked about dark matter, us being universal people more than we know. As I play that audio, I'm going to put a nice little thumbnail up on the screen. Play the audio. At the end of that audio, I will play the ending music. Lions Den, how you doing, brother?
I'm here.
I've been calling you Lions Den for quite some time, brother. So I'm pretty much getting ready to put a crescendo on everything, but I'm about to. Aaron did the honor of naming folks in the chat room. I'm going to play this 3-minute little audio for folks to listen to as I get ready to end the show. So, brother, you want to say anything, any last words before I begin this process? Because I'm about to put an end to this stream for the night. I'm tired.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, my final thoughts for tonight is for my brothers and sisters. I'd like to thank everybody in the chat room. Remember, always not let nobody get you down. Always believe in yourself and believe it. As Black people in this country, we have to stay united and stay forward and not let nobody get between us. That's all info.
Thank you. And B Miles wasn't here tonight, but if he was here, you know he would say these words, and you know he would say this. Hold your own nuts. That's what he always says. So what I'm going to do now is go into that other presentation for everybody to listen to. So just bear with me for a quick minute while I share my screen and get ready to push into the other part of the presentation that will lead us to our end of the program tonight. So hang on for 1 minute, folks, as I'm going to share this screen.
Nothing to be afraid of. Understand? Have you ever questioned the nature of your reality? We must take this matter into our own hands. Vehicles, okay. No, I did not call them objects. That was too neuter for me. Okay. I had a Stanford professor say, you ought to call them objects. They have all the qualities of a vehicle. They can move, it's like a missile or anything like that. So that much we can say about them, for sure. Okay. So I'm calling it a vehicle. Okay, somebody comes along and says, well, where would you manufacture one that's 2.5 Earth lengths long? And that's a hard question to answer.
So are you not positing the idea that those vehicles contain, beings who are, maybe like us?
Yeah, I only go along with environment images. And if you want to know about people kind of thing, there is the ship that picked up the Voyager capsule
elevated naval shipyard. And they have a picture there of, I think it's the Apollo flight that the Bugs and Neil were on. But anyway, there's one laser that shows black people getting off.
So people with dark skin getting off,
Not dark, black,
black skin,
really black. Yeah.
were they tall?
Yes.
Very tall? How tall? You know?
Well, they got out the doorway. I don't know how high that is, but
Well, what?
say 7 feet would be probably a conservative estimate.
Have you heard about Clark McClellan's statement about that?
No.
Oh, you haven't? Have you ever been in touch with him?
No.
No?
There's one laser that shows black people getting off.
So people with dark skin getting off,
Not dark, black,
black skin,
really black. Yeah.
were they tall?
Yes.
Very tall? How tall? You know?
Well, they got out the doorway. I don't know how high that is, but
Well, what?
say 7 feet would be probably a conservative estimate.
Okay, everybody. I know some of you probably could barely hear it. I apologize for that. What I could do is, let me see. I apologize for you not being able to hear the audio properly. But basically, this guy, Dr. Norman, you can find him on YouTube. If you put that in the description, the Dr. Norman, I put it in the chat room. You can find the audio that I'm talking about. I will be doing another pre-produced video about melanin that I've already started working on, where I will talk about some of the things that I talked about tonight, but I'm going to wrap it with a video that has a lot of other scholars and well-known people on it talking about melanin in a more detailed manner. I'm sorry if you couldn't all hear it that well. But the audio itself is kind of low itself, just to let you know. So the way it was recorded. But I appreciate you all being here. And as I always say, open up one's mind. And thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm going to end the show. It's been great having you here. I'm going to give you our theme music, as always. Me and Lions Den have our theme music that we like to play. And here it goes.
Wait a minute, folks. Wait a minute. 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 It's the info man and the lion den. 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 It's the info man, yup. It's the lion den, yup. You can fuck with us, no, so stop trying den. Still, it's the info man, yup. It's the lion den, yup. You can fuck with us, no, so stop trying den. Still heavyweight, so they try to infiltrate with hate, knocking my meal up off my plate, but we do not take the bait. Don't hesitate when it's time to do it to it. We still do they bullshit like power steering fluid. Wait a minute, Lion D. Wait a minute.
I've got to pause that. I got to give some respect to the fallible one. She's a great sister. She super chatted me. Sister, I recognize that you super chatted me. I always keep my eyes on a swivel as to what's going on. And I'm going to give you a clap. I hope I said your name right, fallible. 1. And here's a clap for you, sister, and thank you for the super chat.
Wait a minute. It's the info man in the lion's den. 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 Raise your ass up. I know something, but this ain't no dream. You can't fuck with lion or info team. Raise your ass up. I know something, but this ain't no dream. You can't fuck with lion or info team. Raise your ass up. I know something, but this ain't no dream. You can't fuck with lion or info team. Raise your ass up. I know something, but this ain't no dream. It's the info man in the lion's den. It's the info man in the lion's den. It's the info man in the lion's den. It's the info man in the lion's den.
Let this be a lesson that black folks need to be codified. We've got to stop cooking, love hacking, we're ready for cornbread.
Good night, everybody, and thank you again.